Hey guys, John here. I hope you're all doing well. I'm currently sick, hopefully on the way to recovery, but I'm like sweating and my voice is completely shot, but I really wanted to make this video, so please bear with me. So today we're going to do my very first speaker shootout. And this is going to be the first in a series of many real-life speaker comparisons. It's something that I've never really dived into with real speakers. Of course, I did this with IRs, but it's going to be a lot of fun to work with a bunch of different speakers and speaker brands. So there's going to be more to come, and stay tuned for that. Now, in case you missed it, I recently got an ISO cab, the Grossman Fatbox, and that thing has been awesome and in fact game-changing for me, because obviously now I can do things like these speaker shootouts. And swapping out speakers with the ISO cab is actually very easy, so it makes this all, streamlined and an easy process. So if you haven't seen my review of the ISO cab, definitely check it out up here. I think you'd really enjoy that. It's quite interesting. I'll also put it in the description below. I also want to give a huge shout out to Tube Amp Doctor for supplying the 3 speakers that I'm about to shoot out. So we're going to shoot out 3 speakers by Celestion, and I'm going to put links to the product pages for the Tube Amp Doctor website for these speakers in the description below. So check those links out if you're interested in getting one of those speakers for yourself. So the speakers that we're going to shoot out today are the Vintage 30, of course, so the G12 Vintage 30. It's the 8 ohm version, of course. Then we're going to check out the G12 H150 Redback, which is an interesting speaker that I'd never heard before. And then we're also going to check out the G12 H75 Creamback. And all of these speakers are the 8 ohm versions. So that's a factor that I'm going to try to keep consistent moving forward when I do speaker comparisons. So I already have quite a mountain of speaker boxes back there, and those are all 8 ohm speakers so far. Now, the guitar that I'm going to use for this comparison is my ESP LTD BK600 Bill Kelleher signature model with the Mojo Tone Hellbender pickups. It's a really cool guitar. And just as with the review of the ISO box, I'm going to stick with my Engl Fireball 25 for all the amp tones. It's just a really good and reliable amplifier, and so far it has sounded really good in comparison with the Fatbox. And I'm going to use a couple different types of tones. So we're going to start out with a sort of high gain rhythm tone, and then we're going to go over into a lead section where I enable the mid boost function, and then we're going to do a sort of crunchy tone with the mid boost on, with the gain lowered a bit, so a little bit more classic, and then finally a clean tone with the clean channel. And since we're dealing with a full mix context for this first comparison, I did use a high pass filter at around 80 Hz just to remove some low end rumble and to make room for the bass guitar and the kick drum, which is a standard procedure for full mixes with heavy guitar tones. Now, of course, the amp is connected to the Fatbox, and in the Fatbox, just as with my review videos, I'm using 3 mics. So it's an SM57, another SM57, and an MD421 Kompakt. And those are blended together, and the blend and the levels between the mics is going to stay the same and consistent between all the different speakers. So I'm not changing EQ or mic settings or anything like that between the speakers, okay? And I'm also using my match EQ trick to make the cabinet sound as if the lid is off. I talk about that trick in my review video. So again, if you want to know more about that, please check out that video. Okay, so let's get started and take a listen to the first comparison, which is the full mix comparison. In my opinion, the most important one, because it's important to hear how the speakers function in the context of a full band mix. Take a listen. All right, that was very interesting. I definitely really enjoyed the sound of a V30. It's my favorite speaker, probably. It's the one that I'm the most familiar with. It just always works, in my opinion. Having said that, it's really a lot of fun to dive into other speakers as well. And the Redback really has a different character. It's a bit warmer sounding. There's still a nice top end there, but it's less pronounced in the upper mids. So that's going to be a speaker that's going to be good to combine with amps that are a little bit strident or thin sounding, for example, because it does have a nice bottom end. And it's also 150 watts, so I can imagine myself using that with my 20 watt Plexi, for example. And then the Creamback didn't sound too dissimilar to the V30, which was surprising. But the mid-range is a little bit more sort of flat sounding. It's just a different character, you know. I also really enjoyed that speaker. So let's do the same comparison, but this time with just the guitar, so you guys can really hear the nuances of all the speakers. I'm going to turn the high pass filter off so you can hear that extended low end. Of course, that's not going to work in a full mix, but just so you guys can hear like the full character of the speakers now that we're going to try them isolated. Check it out, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, great. So again, my thoughts are similar as before. You know, they all sound great. I do like the V30 a lot because it's nice and forward sounding, but the red back is great and I can see myself using that with certain types of amps. And the cream back seems to be very versatile as well. It's a good alternative to the V30. Perhaps it's a good speaker for more classic sounding amplifiers. So it's also going to be fun to use that in future videos to come, when a certain amplifier that I'm reviewing calls for that sound, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm going to have a lot of fun with these speaker comparisons. For this one, I made the demo tracks quite long. And in the future, I want to include more speakers. So I'm going to make shorter clips so that you can hear them quicker side by side and that it doesn't take too long to listen to the comparisons. But since we only did 3 speakers this time, I made the clips a little bit longer. And what I'm going to do probably for future comparisons is just choose one amplifier and one sound. You know, for example, if I do a 6505, I'm just going to do a metal or rock rhythm tone and nothing else. And then choose a bunch of speakers that, you know, work well for that sound and then shoot them out. And what I'm also looking to do in the future and to offer you guys, my viewers, the option to get my sound is I'm going to shoot some simple IR packs and offer them to you so that you guys can get the sounds that I'm getting from this cabinet for yourself in your digital modeling device or whatnot. So that's going to be really cool as well. Keep your eyes out for my socials for news regarding that. Anyway, I'm rambling here. It's just going to be a lot of fun. Thanks again so much to Tube Amp Doctor for sending these speakers out to me. I really appreciate it. And of course, also massive thanks to Grossman for supplying the ISO cabinet. Let me know your thoughts about this comparison in the comments down below. Let me know which speaker you enjoyed the most, which one you would choose. I'd love to know. Also, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, as that really helps the channel out. And you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram, of course. And yeah, thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers.